there, my name is Beck and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. And it's like, about 12 hours later, and I am still reasonably breathless from last night's watch-along of Stolen Earth and Journey's End. It was freaking glorious! It was wonderful! It was fantastic! It was, I think, one of the most uplifting and unifying moments, extended moments, that went for hours in Doctor Who, in Doctor Who fandom that I can remember since the 50th anniversary. I think maybe even greater than that. It was just absolutely fantastic. Okay, so the evening started off in wonderful fashion with Russell T Davies releasing this wonderful tribute to Liz Sladen, the farewell Sarah Jane Smith little video there they put out on YouTube. It was essentially Jacob Dudman narrating the scene at Sarah Jane Smith's funeral, and it was absolutely beautiful. It had all these dignitaries from Doctor Who there, everybody turning up, and it was Russell T Davies having so much incredible fun. Now, one thing he had a bit of fun with that people ran with all night was the idea of throwing in that Tegan and Nyssa were a gay couple. No, they're not. They're not a gay couple. Okay, they're not a gay couple. Their future history, their lives, their heterosexuality is, I would say, somewhat of a matter of record at this point. You know, we had Nissa's future life after she leaves the Doctor. She marries, she has children, she names one of the kids Adric, I think. These are all recorded in Big Finish. I believe Tegan also marries, she gets divorced. So, yeah, okay, so they're at least heterosexual. You might want to say they're bi. But why would you want to say they're bi? Why would you want to put more, why would you want to artificially put gay representation in Doctor Who, where there is so much gay representation? I challenge you to find a Doctor Who fan, or really somebody living in the Western world, who has any trouble with somebody being gay. That's so crazy. It is so freaking crazy. But yeah, this piece is farewell Sarah Jane. Essentially, it was Jacob Dudman. But then we had lots of guest cameos of we had was it Katie Manning as Joe Grant, Batty Joe Grant, and again I'm hearing Rusty Davies writing her dialogue and just having the time of his life. He's hooting away. You had all the people from the all the kids from the Sarah Jane Adventures. I watch it peripherally. I watch it with my kids because it's Sarah Jane. I don't know it intently well, so I don't remember the characters that well. But it was just lovely. They had Rani. I can't remember the actress name. Rani finished off with the last members of this idea of like this Sarah Jane just before she dies being picked up by the Doctor, and they are forever trapped in this perfect moment of time, having adventures together. And I just imagine, the curator Tom Baker, if you ever seen Sharda, the animated reconstruction. There's a wonderful scene at the end where the Doctor's tinkering under the TARDIS and something blows up, and it's Tom Baker as he is now. He's like in his 80s, maybe 90s, in full costume in the console room. Absolutely fantastic sequence, but I kind of imagine them to get, an older Liz Sladen, older Tom Baker together having adventures forever. This perfect moment in time that is held forever. In this wonderful capsule of Russell T Davies' wonderful imagination. So before we go further, guys, can I ask you, can you hit the subscribe button? That is absolutely fan-dabby-dozy. Thank you so much. I give stuff away on the channel each week. The stuff I give away, I was supposed to give away last night, but I was too excited. I was on too much of a roller coaster because I was having too much of it, so I wasn't able to give it last night. I'm giving away tonight. It is a really nice version of Apocalypse Now. It's got both versions of the movie in it. Was it the 2004 Redux, which I don't really like so much, but the 1979 version that's in here, it's in these like really funky cardboard sealed orders. It's a real cover on the inside. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel. Subscribing being very, very important from my perspective. So subscribe to the channel and leave the hashtag Panama Red. I'm giving away tonight. Okay, it's going away tonight on the TARDIS. So we're talking about Dalek. So get your hashtags in quickly, and then We'll choose another thing that we're giving away next week. Also, go and look at the video notes. It's got all the instructions on what you need to do to win it. And also there's a Doctor Who audio adventure starring Nicholas Briggs as a Doctor, made in the mid-80s by a fan group called Audio Vigils. Fan-freaking-tastic. Nick Briggs was also twittering along last night. That's the thing. There were so many people tweeting. I really couldn't follow them all. I was basically on John Barrowman and Russell T Davies, a bit of Nicholas Briggs. So I said earlier, why would you want to artificially inject gay representation in Doctor Who when there is so much gay representation that we all love? Now let me show you a bit of gay representation in Doctor Who that we do all love. John Barrowman. John Barrowman was fantastic. He was wonderful. And his little videos, this was Instagrams he was putting out. They just reflected how I felt so much about the entire time. So we started off. I was watching Turn Left first. This was I was on Noel's channel all night. On the TARDIS. So, and thank God he got me to watch Turn Left first. So I hadn't seen these stories since maybe 10 years, maybe since they aired. I haven't seen them in a long time. And look, at the time, I knew it was a golden age. I knew it was the Doctor Who golden age, and we were still. It was like 4 years in, and we were still in just amazement that not only Doctor Who came back, but it was so glorious. It was such a wonderful success, and so I realized it was a golden age. But now it's been a few years of real, I would say, dark times in Doctor Who fandom, in the Doctor Who world. And so, I go back and see, and I forgot just how fantastic these episodes were. And without exaggeration, I cried so many times last night. I cried at the Farewell Sarah Jane. It was just absolutely lovely. It was beautiful. I cried during Turn Left. Turn Left. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen it, what's wrong with you? Go and see it. There's an alternate history where the doctor dies. And so you get to hear the Sarah Jane team, and they all sacrifice themselves to deal with one problem. Then the Torchwood team sacrifice themselves to deal with the Sontarans, and then who knows, stop the Titanic crashing into Earth and blowing up the planet instead of just blowing up Earth. I guess was it Crewman Haim must have managed it on his own without the help from Doctor. Just not as good. But anyway, so we watched Turn Left. Absolutely glorious. And so you know what? You know why I think these episodes are just so freaking fantastic? Why they are? Because the characters are so real. They're so people that we know. They're so flawed. They're so funny. They're so human. And just I have to say that just the love of Doctor Who that just poured out from these episodes last night, and poured out from the tweets on, was just breathtaking. Especially Russell T Davies' love of Doctor Who, his love of Sarah Jane, again just pouring out on the page through Twitter onto the screen. It was absolutely wonderful. So then we finally get up. So I finished my preamble. I finished Turn Left. Finally get it to the was it Stolen Earth, and everyone's tweeting, and John Barrowman tweets out this tweet. Freaking brilliant. Let's hear what he has. Very considered words of wisdom that I think we should all listen to together and nod wisely. Because John, what is it that you want to tell the world? So it starts, it's absolutely glorious. We're all having an incredible well of time. The tweets are coming thick and fast. And John Barrowman completely reflects exactly what I was feeling at that time, with that video there. And then we just get these wonderful moments of insights from Russell T Davies. I mean, a lot of it just came out of his wonderful book, The Writer's Tale. If you haven't read The Writer's Tale, go out and buy The Writer's Tale. It is marvelous. It's essentially him emailing the scripts and talking about what his ideas as he's writing them, as he's writing these episodes right here, and other episodes. That's in the expanded edition. Interesting enough, he's emailing a gentleman called Benjamin Cook, who was a major interviewer for Doctor Who magazine. So I never knew if Emily Cook, who arranged these fantastic watch-alongs, who works for Doctor Who magazine, if that was Benjamin Cook. I wasn't sure if he was trans and had transitioned and was Ben, now it's Emily. Apparently not. No, apparently they're different people. They just Cook's a reasonably well-known, reasonably common middle name, last name. So one of the wonderful snippets that you put in was I've been doing a rewatch of season 1 with Christopher Eccleston. So a couple of weeks ago, I saw World War III when the leading ship goes crashing into Big Ben, and that effect shot at the time was fantastic. It took all our breath away. Looking again now, doesn't look as good. It's strange, but anyway. So there was this plan was it Christmas Invasion, that they were going to call back to that. They had this stuffy character who was running around and fussing around about the reopening of Big Ben after it had been restored, and the cigarette ships comes flying in, and it's supposed to have retracting and expanding wings, and one of the wings expands and crashes through Big Ben once again. So that was going to be called back to yet a third time, but they ran out of money in the Dalek invasion of Earth. So we've never seen a Dalek invasion of Earth in Doctor Who before. We've seen the aftermath of a Dalek invasion of Earth. We've never seen the Dalek invasion of Earth. And again, Russell Lee Davies saying, I wish we had more money to put in that. It was so much... I would call it fan fiction. It was fan fiction fantasy. It was like the Dalek saying, exterminate unit. And it was just every bit, all these bits, But what this really was, which I just found so incredibly glorious, is the culmination, is the high point, is the crescendo of the Russell T Davies era. It's when he pulled all the disparate parts of everything that was the Russell T Davies universe, which was massive. Again, you can always know when somebody loves something, when they can't stop doing it. And Russell T Davies could not stop doing Doctor Who. He did 13 episodes a year. He did Sarah Jane Adventures for a younger demographic children. And I was doing Torchwood. And these are the episodes where they all came together. It was Doctor Who doing Avengers Assemble, Avengers Endgame, 10 years before them, and doing it better, I would say. Because all the characters that came together, they all had something to do. They were all in character. They all felt natural, and they were all glorious. You had so many punch the air moments whenever they turned up. And I just loved the cliffhanger. One of the greatest cliffhangers in Doctor Who history. I really thought they were going to regenerate the Doctor. So another little snippet that Russell Davies put out on Twitter last night was he thought about the idea of hiring this massive actor to do one scene as a Doctor who he regenerates in these in McKellen or some massive actor, and then after one scene he goes, oh look, and he puts himself into the bubbling hand that Tennant lost in the Christmas Invasion. That was and there's so much more stuff they would have done had they had more money. But so we get to the end of the end of Stolen Earth, and John Barrowman puts out another tweet, which another little video, which just really totally expresses where I was at that time. And let's just play that now.
So I'm a big bubbling idiot. I'm just watching this, and it's just amazing, incredible.
Yes, John,
so
brilliant.
Just a brilliant episode, and I can't wait for the next one. You evil Davros.
Absolutely fantastic. So then we had a 15-minute break. Thank God for that. If you're American, you made yourself a coffee, and if you're England, you made yourself a cup of tea. And then John Barrowman was back, media hermit. John Barrowman was back with some more considered words of wisdom to start the next episode with. What do you have to say there, John? What are the words of wisdom you have to say to going into the next episode?
It's the next installment! Journey's End!
So again, that's the right attitude to have. That's the sane and normal thing to do. If you're in Doctor Who, if you're in one of these glorious episodes of Doctor Who, that's the right attitude. Yes, to see, oh look, that's my name, And it's the love of Doctor Who that really I found just overwhelming and wonderful. And just really genuinely wonderful. So then we had the episode again, which ties everything up. And yeah, it's, it's just wonderful again seeing all these characters interacting so naturally and so authentically and so being so. And we also got a moment of K9. Who of course we needed a little bit of K9, and we had the tragic fate of Donna Noble, which really seemed to be that was the way they're ending the character. Obviously, they finished it. They rectified that a year later. But I absolutely adored it. I left it, and by the end of it, I was just emotionally drained completely because it was absolutely wonderful. So honestly, thank you, Emily Cook. Thank you to everybody who got involved. Thank you, Rusty Davis, Nicholas Briggs, John Barrowman, Graham Harper, everybody who got involved in it, David Tennant, Catherine Tate. It was glorious. It was wonderful. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Genuinely thank you from the bottom of my heart, because it was fantastic. And I'm going to leave you with some words from one final tweet from John Barrowman, which really, again, just encapsulated my feelings completely. You're all again. You're all fantastic. It was a great evening. I can't wait for the next. Although I'm not going to be at the next one. I'm gutted. It's on Friday night. I'm a rabbi. I'm offline, so I can't watch. Was it Human Nature or Family of Blood? Never mind. I'm gonna have to watch the episodes beforehand. Maybe put out a review on the day, because again, it was just absolutely wonderful TV. I forgot how fantastic it was. I can't express my thanks enough. It was fantastic. And over to you, John Barron. What are your thoughts that we should end with?
So that's what it's all about. All of us around the TARDIS console. Look at that. Glorious. Sarah Jane. I'm a big softie. Anyway, that is the most amazing thing ever. Oh, beautiful. There we go. I'm a big softie. Sorry, Russell. Sorry, everybody. Love to you all. Gotta finish watching the end. Woohoo! So the episode's about to end, but I just want to say one thing.
What about you now? Who have you got?
Know that in this time of upset and concern, we're all upset by everything. That for 2 hours, we all sat together, worldwide, the Whovian fan family, and supported each other through social media, watching this, connecting. Know there's always people out there. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be sad. But know we'll get through this, because we're all looking out for each other.
I'll look up at the sky.
And I'm going to look up at the sky.
Think of you. Thank you.
Thanks, Bernie. Bernie Cribbins, everybody. Anyway, lots of love, everyone. This has been epic today. Thank you all for joining in.